I want to show you an example of creative engineering in the garden. Oftentimes, the solution that you manufacture on your own can be the most appropriate. As you interplant new crops with existing crops, proper spacing and exposure can be aided by some simple means. Small bamboo stakes, garden tape, or some twine can go a long way. What's up everybody, this is Scott from New Garden Road. I'm here to inform, inspire, and elevate you. If you like what you see, give it a big thumbs up and spread the word. While you're at it, subscribe and get notified for more gardening action. I have been observing this little yacon plant reaching to get out from underneath these snap beans. I know that eventually this little guy will tower over these beans, but in the meantime, I'm going to give it some assistance. By simply driving a 2-foot bamboo stake into the ground at just the right place, I have dramatically improved the sun exposure for this little member of the sunflower family. So you can see I just used the 2-foot stakes and I didn't tie these at all. I just put them in the ground, basically adjacent to the snap bean plants. Got another one here. These snap beans don't mind. They're a bush variety and they like to go with the flow. For this itty bitty yacon plant, just creating some space so that can start growing. This guy's gonna get several feet tall. Don't think this is all about the yacon though. This same method can be utilized to stake plants and prevent them from getting damaged in high winds. Commonly found 4-foot bamboo stakes can easily be cut in half with a pair of pruners, such as these Felco number 8s. This is my favorite pair, really long lasting. I generally eyeball it, folks. That's all I'm doing, but you know, I'll take my bamboo stake, position it within the pruners, make my cut, and what I end up with from there is a 2-foot bamboo stake. This is great. I've got raised beds, plenty of soil. I can drive it down about halfway, nice and sturdy, and that gives me plenty of space to tie it to the plant. Firmly and gently drive the stake into the soil a few inches from the base of the plant. Keep in mind the root zone could be sensitive. As you're pushing it down there, just think about that. If you hit something kind of rooty, you know, back off a little bit. When staking plants in this fashion, make sure the plant is secured up high for the best stability. And while I realize it may seem premature to stake this zinnia plant, I know that these will grow easily 4 to 5 feet tall, and we get some really strong winds here. I'm assuring it's going to continue to have upright growth and not get damaged. I do find this method of staking very valuable when you're square foot gardening and gardening in raised beds. Helps preserve the allocated space for the plants, keeps them in their space, and that helps you grow more food. Unique situations call for unique solutions. In this case, I wanted to leave my carrots in the ground until I was ready to use them. But in the meantime, there were more crops to be planted. These yacon seedlings will get growing really soon, and they'll be towering over these snap beans. But as I began to plant them, the carrot foliage was just in the way. Likewise, when I decided to seed another round of cucumbers, these carrots that I seeded last fall were happily flopping about. This is a situation that could lead to damage, stress, or otherwise limit the development of both the yacon and the cucumber. The solution... Alright, I present to you the carrot mohawk, in honor of carrots as well as cucumbers, which I've seeded here on the right. Those carrots, man, looking good. There's 13 carrots growing there, flanked by green onions and the beans, of course. Keeping out of the way of the yacon. Use some additional stakes to get the snap beans away so this guy can grow taller. Pretty simple. Basically what I did was I took one of the 2-foot stakes, drove that into the ground. Then I used 2 4-foot bamboo stakes, basically made a sandwich with the tops of the carrots on both ends. I tied it with some of the green tape. Worked out great. Now I realize you might be saying, why don't you just go ahead and pick the carrots? But you see, I've been able to leave my carrots in the soil until June, July. I keep the beds watered with drip irrigation, and they get shaded out a little bit by some of the inner planting that I do, and the quality of the carrots stays true. That gives me a longer season harvest period for my carrots. And that's why that's a carrot mohawk. Garden creativity, ingenuity. Got some beans and some cucumbers seeded next to the carrots. Whether it's high winds, interplanting challenges, or avoiding pest and disease issues, these are just a few creative ways to wrangle all those wild plants in the garden. One more time from the top with the butterflies butterflying. Talking about some plant wrangling, y'all. We are in Texas. Woo! The carrot mohawk. Check out some of these other awesome gardening videos on my channel. You can grow your own food. Keep it organic. Got my spot, got my mark, that's what I'm talking about when I make a video. Woo-hoo!